What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Loki trailer video. If you haven't seen my full trailer breakdown, you can check it out on my channel, and there's one thing I noticed that I've not seen a single person talk about. But first, please do drop a like down below if you enjoyed the video, and please do subscribe with notifications on if you want more from us. So in the trailer we saw Owen Wilson's Mobius, Mobius, arrest Loki for breaking time, as of course he survived death, as during Endgame the Avengers went back in time and heavily messed things up, meaning that Loki was able to use the Space Stone and evade capture. This means that, well, everything that happened afterwards in the MCU involving Loki didn't happen. Because he has survived, he hasn't gone on his redemption arc of being captured, then going on and sacrificing himself, meaning this show takes place in a splintered timeline. Now he's hauled in front of the Time Court, with a justice which we think is actually Justice Might presiding over his trial. There are many different justices, and this is all taking place in the Time Variance Authority, the absolute last word on making sure that time flows as it should. Now behind the justice are three faces, and many do think that this is the Living Tribunal or even a council of Kangs, but alas, it is not. Instead, these faces, like we saw elsewhere in the TVA building, are the Timekeepers. Now, the Timekeepers were created by He Who Remains, the final director of the Time Variance Authority at the final endpoint of time for all sorts of the multiverse. They were created to be the final beings in the universe, and when the universe resets, they are a warning on how to avoid the mistakes of the past. However, they did become corrupted, and Thor needed to fight them as they went back in time, destroying everything in their wake, and became known as the Time Twisters. Now, the last director made a perfect version of them again after all this happened, and that is where we actually have Ast, Borth, and Xanth, the ones that you see here in the Time Court. However, they would later employ Immortus, another Earth's Kang the Conqueror, to destroy the Avengers, but this was the Time Twisters, and the Time Twisters and the Timekeepers battled for a long time throughout history, and this is interesting as their history is intertwined with Kang and Immortus, with Kang being played by Jonathan Majors in Ant-Man 3. Well, it's interesting as this group did try to destroy all other realities as they saw it as a threat to having their dominance and things like that over time. So with this in mind, this does actually explain why Kang is appearing in Ant-Man 3, as that is exploring the quantum realm, which is long thought by many of us to be the key to other realities, and well, it is exactly how time travel works in the MCU. Now, it also led Kang to fight them, and Immortus also fight them, as a reality and time is also key to his power of conquering different timelines. So that's a really interesting Easter egg there, which I haven't seen many other people pick up. But it's really interesting how deep they are going into the comics. They could have easily just left this out, or had the Living Tribunal and the other cosmic entities be behind them and behind the whole of the TVA. Now, this is also interesting because this also means that this might be a universe after the universe has been reset, because we see them in the back there, and they're at the start, so to speak, or at least very early on in the history of this universe. So that is just absolutely bizarre that we may have had a whole universe before the MCU even started. But that is it for this video, just a short one there for you. So please do drop a like down below, please do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.